George Cabell, your financial coach, back with another part for your financial goals, and that's set up for success. We're going to look to expand on the knowledge itself. So we're educating ourselves in the first part. Next part is all about how we earn the money and what do we do with the money itself. So I think that's something we're going to look to deep dive here. So I want to let you know that that there's a lot to learn here. We're kind of doing it in parts, but it's giving you enough information to be able to move forward with your success. So let's talk about that and go to the next part. So let's ask you a question though. What is the percentage of Americans earning less than $50,000 a year, living paycheck to paycheck? So what's that percentage that we look into? Does mean a lot of people are making money, and 50,000 is a lot of money. So don't get me wrong on that. But what's the percentage that are living paycheck to paycheck? So let's look at the stats together. 80% of Americans almost are earning less than 50 are living paycheck to paycheck. So that's, wow. Okay. That's a high number of individuals who are doing that. But then we think, oh, if I had more money, I'd be okay, right? We're going to be okay. Well, 42% of top earners are also reporting that they're living paycheck to paycheck. So it's not about making more money and then we're out of the woods. What's keeping us in this situation? What are we doing? And I think that's the thing that we need to really understand and what we need to do to change from that perspective. So those are really startling numbers. We've got to work together to kind of figure out how do we change that mentality. Change that situation, I should say. Sorry about that. So money myth, another one, high income makes you wealthy. So we just talked about it, right? 42% of Americans are still living paycheck to paycheck, even when they're making money. But that's a myth. When we talk about making more money makes us wealthy. So yeah, you make more money does mean, all it means is you have more money. That's all it means than maybe other people, right? But high salaries never translates into net worth. Net worth really puts into how much are you saving? How much do you have in retirement? What are you putting away in your home, in the investments that you're making there? So I love the fact that, it's not always the case that I just make more money, that'll make me more wealthy. It's, again, what are we doing? These are the steps that we're taking to make sure that actually is a reality. That old saying, right? I love that. The more you make, it's probably the fact that you're going to spend more. Why is that? It's the behaviors, it's the habits, it's the stuff that puts into, we think we're making more money, everything's good. But the question is, what happens when we're not making more money? What happens if we get sick? Those are the situations that we need to prepare ourselves for. So again, let's go into the parts and kind of figure out what we can do there. Money myth, another one. You work hard and you deserve to buy nice things. And I'm like, of course you do. We all work hard and we deserve to make money, to spend the money the way we choose to. But I think for me, there's no emotional tie here. There's nothing wrong with making money and saving it and spending it. The thing is it's nice. You can have it to buy nice things, but I think a lot of us do that. The impulse buy. Like I need the latest technology, or I need this type of food or going out or whatever it might be. I deserve it because I work so hard. The thing is that it's you can buy nice things, but it's not going to buy you happiness, right? You can buy nice stuff or do nice things, have the experience, but if you have nothing in your net worth or in savings or anything like that, you're putting yourself in a position where, once again, we're living paycheck to paycheck. We're not really saving for a rainy day. Like I said, things are going to happen. Life is going to happen. What do we do every time something happens? Is it just go back and go further into debt, go further into these situations? We've got to do better. We've got to think differently. It's normal to do these things. The question is, what are we going to do to make it different for us in these situations? Okay. Increasing and managing money. What does that mean to you? What are we doing to actually do that itself? That's one way in your steps for success in your financial, right? You got to make money. So how do we do that? There's certain ways to do that. Let's figure that out. But another question to ask yourself in all this too is, well, what do you do when you get the money? There's a few things. Thinking about it, right? You got to think about how, when we talk money itself, you're going to spend it, right? You're going to save it. And then sometimes, a lot of times as well, you're going to give it. That's all you can do with money. That's all you can do with money. There's not much else you can do. It's a tool that allows you to do certain things. But what do you do when you get money? What are some of the things that you're thinking about? How are you handling those situations? That's going to dictate on how your steps of success are going to be for you as well. So how do you increase money? How do you manage your money? Well, the easiest way, this is not rocket science, guys. Don't spend more than you make. Isn't that, it sounds so simple, and it is. But a lot of us, we're chasing something, chasing happiness, chasing, what our neighbors are doing. How are they doing? Who on Instagram are we trying to mimic? These are the things itself that get us into chasing happiness when it's not there. And again, at the end of the day, stop spending more than we make. It'll put us in a better track for what we need to do. When it comes to increasing your money, obviously, how do you get more money itself? In your career, furthering your career, investing in yourself, investing in what you do, how you're learning, the skills that you're learning. That leads to raises, that leads to compensation and bonuses. But of course, maybe new jobs is what you need to do. Work for a new company, work for your own self, and start your own company. All of these things are opportunities to make more money. Side hustles and second jobs. A lot of us already work second jobs, third jobs in order to bring in the money. The question is, what are we doing with that money itself? That's going to be the thing, but that's how you make more money. As you're young and even as you're getting older itself, we need to make sure we're bringing enough money. How bad do you want the goals that you're setting for yourself and your family and for what you're looking to do? Well, side hustles allows us to be able to do that. Bring in some extra cash. And with that extra cash, it allows you to be able to do more. It allows you to be able to achieve some of the goals itself that we're looking to do. And it's just all we're trying to focus on is how do we make more money? And that's what we're trying to do here. Starting a new business. We talked about careers, but I want to be my own boss. I want to be able to handle my money itself. I want to be able to, get my product out there, help people the way I do with the things that and the skills that I take care of. So one way to do it is start your own business. That has its own, pros and cons, but it's a way to increase your money. And increase what you're doing to be able to manage that money. Simple as well, when we talk about like spending more or spending less than you make, it's a good thing there. Sell stuff. We have a lot of stuff, guys. I guarantee if you have a garage, there is stuff that you haven't seen or looked at in years in those boxes. Look to declutter your life. Look to get rid of some of that stuff. And the thing is, you don't have to just throw it away. You can sell it. eBay, online, garage sales, anything like that. Get some of that stuff that you just don't use anymore. We have a lot of it, guys. I know we do. Look for ways to be able to sell that. That's another way to increase and get some money in your pocket as well. Making more money. So what do you do when you have more money? Some of the questions to ask yourself. What should I be doing when my money is irregular? So again, if I'm a salesperson, I work off commission. Realtor who works off commission. What are we doing when we have that? A budget and a plan allows us to be able to better understand what we're doing with that income coming in. And what do I do when it's not a good month? What am I doing when it is a great month? It's still the same thing. What are we doing when we get money? What are some of the behaviors and habits that are holding you back? If I'm a spender, what's preventing me from saving? If I'm a saver, what's preventing me from spending? The way I was raised, the relationships I've had with my parents, the relationships I have with my spouse, that impacts how we work and deal with money itself every day. What are some of the behaviors and habits that you can identify that you can try to slowly but change each day? I mean, we have habits to be able to get to the gym or get that coffee in the morning. Why can't we put those habits to work for us when it comes to our money? These are the things that we need to think about. What are the foundations needed for stability with your money? We talked about educating ourselves, making money, saving money, investing money, and getting out of debt. Those are foundations that I feel are needed. That also includes having a budget, having protections in place. These are the things that I need you to think about when it comes to when you're making more money. What do we need to do to make sure that that money goes far in your goals? Pay yourself well, and keep a reserve. So when we talk about having a savings, what does that mean for you? Do you have a savings account? Do you have savings for that emergency or that rainy day? What does that mean for you when it comes to that? Are you in that statistic when it comes to not being able to afford a $400 emergency? Do you have an emergency fund in case you're not working anymore for a few months? These are the things that we need to think about, but you need to manage these kind of things. If you have these reserves, you have the savings in place, you're able to manage life when it happens. You're not having to worry about how am I going to pay for it. You're just worrying about how am I going to manage that situation when it comes. It gives you a peace of mind when you're investing in your savings and putting this foundation in place for you as well. It's less stressful when you're having to deal with a situation when you eliminate money. You don't have to worry about money when you have these foundations in place. Having stability in your budget also allows you to be able to make adjustments, make changes on the fly when life happens. Oh, get a flat tire. It's not the end of the world, or I have to go to a credit card, or I have to borrow from someone in order to address those situations. So I think these are the things that these savings, these emergency funds, this foundation in stability for your situation, it allows you to be able to do that a lot better. All right, we're done with this part of our steps to success. But I just wanted to let you know, appreciate you listening, and we'll see you at the next part. George Chabelle, your financial coach, not here to judge, just here to help.